Why does everything have to be that? I don't want to be known as that. Hi everyone, I'm Natsu and welcome back to the RWBY Report, Episode 2 of Volume 4. Jomahawk's here this time, I think.
It's your man, Jomahawk2694, and I'm here with the RWBY Report.
Yes, to an extent, I'm not sure. Matters how well his review on his end is. All I know is I have professional grade equipment. It may be low tier professional, but it's still professional. Well, anyways, let's get straight to the RWBY Report. Enough jokes. This episode is a very feel-heavy episode, everyone.
First thing that happens, we see Weiss walking through her mansion, and it is huge. Like, you expected that, but it's huge. And there's very slight symbolism. There's
these two knight statues that are very reminiscent of the statue that she fought.
There's a statue of two King Taiju heads fighting themselves in one of the rooms in the Schnee mansion,
which can be reminiscent of either Weiss's inner conflict or a conflict with her family. Either way, Jomahawk, this is not reminiscent of an Ouroboros. This is completely different. The next shot is, it's very weird. It's a shot, here's a picture of it, of just Weiss walking, and above her head is like a circle. And above that, and inside the middle of that circle is her family's crest. Now this probably doesn't represent anything, but it could represent she being kept in line from her family. Like, they're trying to keep her in this circle, making sure she can't escape or anything. But then, later on, she meets up with her brother, Whitley.
Weiss and Winter actually have yet another sibling.
I was wrong. For some reason, like, me and Joma both thought his name was Whitley. Whitleen. But no, it's Whitley.
But apparently the two of them didn't have the best of relationships, and apparently he was kind of a jerk. But then she's like, you're acting different, and he's like, I didn't stop growing just because you went to Beacon.
He's not arrogant. He's not really a douche. It's more he's a snitch or something, or he's planning something. Either way, he's a very strange character, and it does this Dutch angle to give off a sense of unease, which it does pretty well when she's talking to him. And, he's going on about, hey, father's in the study talking to some guy, and mother's in the garden drinking.
But father was yelling at somebody, so you might want to be careful. So, looks like he's actually kind of looking out for his sister at this point. Who knows?
And then it goes to a picture of Weiss and her whole family.
Nobody in the picture besides Mr. Schnee looks particularly happy to be in the situation that they're in that portrait.
No, Josh, you're wrong. The men are happy, the women are sad. If you notice, all the women in this picture are sad and miserable, while the men are happy. Because if you had to be surrounded by these two men, you'd be sad too. She continues to go, and she goes to her father's study,
where Ironwood,
a.k.a. Metal Dick,
is talking to Jacques Schnee. Mr. Schnee's name is finally revealed, and contrary to people's beliefs, Jeff is not voicing him. I don't know who's voicing him, but they got him spot on for being a dick.
Anyways, they're arguing about what else? Money.
Mr. Schnee's obviously only concern is his money and his business. There's apparently a dust embargo going on, so that Schnee can't get rich off of this latest tragedy.
He's standing on the right, while Ironwood's standing on the left. And then the items on the wall can represent what they care about most, which is like money, time, and legacy for Jacques. And for Ironwood, it's world, winter, and actually caring about the actual Schnees rather than the legacy or the money. But yeah, Jacques' like complete arrogant. He's like the stereotypical rich douchebag everyone hates. He's all pompous and talks like this.
A precautionary measure, as he puts it, until we're certain no one is going to declare war.
Anyway, so they're talking about that because Ironwood put an embargo on dust. So Jacques cannot sell dust outside the country. Oh, poo. Weiss interrupts them, and Ironwood immediately leaves.
As soon as Ironwood leaves, Jacques is like, "Have you forgotten your manners?" to Weiss. And she has this look of like, now I remember why I left. And then, yeah, but I can't survive without his money, so no, father.
And so they start talking. He's just going on and on about how he's losing money and stuff. So he tells her he's going to throw a charity to show the world that they're not such bad people, that they're victims too, blah-de-blah. So he's going to throw a charity. He didn't say what the charity's for.
It'll show that the Schnee Dust Company is on everybody's side and that he'd really like it if Weiss were to perform. And she asks, "Are you asking me if I want to sing, or are you telling me?"
I think it would make a lot of people happy.
I'll start practicing.
Basically it. And then we meet her, and then afterwards, he's like, "You can go now." "Yeah, but yeah, snob. Then we meet her butler, who has split personalities, which is a fun, cool, I guess this is his semblance, maybe.
I think it's to balance out all his hot air.
Oh, apologies, madam.
Ah, there's my happy little snowflake.
Yeah, Klein Seiben is the butler. He can make her laugh and stuff, and they just have a banter back and forth. And I'm pretty sure he's the only person she trusts right now, because Winter's nowhere to be found. I don't know where she is. It wasn't mentioned. No, he's not the cake butler. Oh my gosh, he's not, because he didn't have a cake. Anyways, after that, we go to Team Ranger, and Ruby's having sex dreams about Pyrrha with pixies in her vision. Actually, wait, is she? Must go to Google! Don't go to 4chan, it's bad. Anyway, so yeah, she's hearing Pyrrha's voice and stuff. She's saying, "Do you believe in destiny?" And then she screams Pyrrha.
Do you believe in destiny? Yes, John.
Anyway, so they're walking down the street, just having cool little funny banter about Jean having a wolf tail and stuff. I'm not going into detail about this. Yes, he has 7 sisters. They used to braid his hair. Of course, he feels more like he's a wolf tail kind of guy. And Ruby says, "That's just a ponytail."
I stand by what I said.
Anyways, Jean's been to this area. It's Shion. That's the town's name. By the way, a lot of these towns are heavily inspired by Avatar, I think. Their town flag is brown with purple. We might see this flag more. They come across the town and it's completely destroyed.
Bombed. First thought that popped into my head, the first season of Avatar, The Last Airbender, where they're flying on Appa and they look down and they see this massive burned out area of a forest. It's kind of hard to watch. So they run into the town and there's bodies everywhere.
They see the burnt town, everyone runs, and Lyran just drops his bag and starts walking.
There could be survivors.
And then Ren notices that one guy's still alive, and apparently it's a huntsman.
Then everyone else notices and starts sprinting after him. Noticing that this man is injured, they try and come up with a plan to try and save him. While Lyran's just doing this picture. He's just doing this in the background, I think maybe it's just he's just thinking oh my god, this is way too similar. Because bandits attacked the town and then Grimm came and destroyed it. Very coincidental. Yet there's no Grimm to be found. Boys and girls, I ask you.
Ruby and Nora and Jean start talking about taking him to another town with a doctor. And the guy dies in front of them.
You don't argue about how to save the man, you just pick him up and start saving him. Of course, there was no helping it. He was bleeding, and he was probably injured for a very long time. There was no way they could save him.
Ren is obviously really affected by this, and then he and Nora see this symbol on the ground, and the fact that it's affecting Ren and Nora so much makes me think this is what happened to their home, to their family.
So anyways, next night, Ruby's having another sex dream about Pyrrha, but this time she's not a part of it, it's Pyrrha and Jean, as you can tell by this audio sound.
John!
So anyways, she hears this, wakes up.
And I'm just thinking to myself, Rooster Teeth, don't you do this to us. So then RWBY finds Jean in a clearing with a recording of Pyrrha on a scroll. And it looks like it's the old style of animation.
It wasn't the old animation in the video. That I studied it. It's fine. It's the new one. But it's just so sad seeing Jean break down like this. And at the end of her video, she was about to confess her love for him. But she doesn't, because anime trope like 227 or something.
He looks at his scroll and he realizes what she was hiding there. He gets even more pissed at himself, and he goes back to slicing at the air with enough force to like send out a shockwave, which is pretty good. He's getting stronger. But it's hard to watch stuff like that. That's how the episode ends, is with RWBY kind of watching Jean. And he's watching the same video over and over, which to me is, unless Rooster Teeth really does pull a spirit ex machina, I think Pyrrha is gone forever.
And one other thing is, there's these little lightning bugs. I guess they're lightning bugs all over. But when we see it from Ruby's perspective, it just seems like her silver eyes are doing something. So this could be a thing that Pyrrha's still alive, or Pyrrha's gone forever. John is going crazy because of this. I'm not sure what's going to happen when he meets up with Cinder. I think if Pyrrha's spirit trying to communicate with anyone, it's probably trying to communicate with RWBY. We're not sure what Silver Eyes can do. To the theories. The number one theory I came up with is Winter. Winter is not an actual Snee. She's an illegitimate child of Weiss's mom and Ironwood. Weiss's mama and Ironwood got together and made the first baby.
I did read an interesting theory. The weapons in RWBY are conduits for aura, which are conduits for the soul. If Jean did use some of Pyrrha's weapon steel on his own weapon, it might be a beacon for Pyrrha's soul, and it might start driving him insane. Please, Miles and Carrie, please don't do that. Well, that's been your man, Joe Mahawk. Until next week, everybody. Peace.
Anyways, that's all I have time for. I've been Natsu Jigoku, and I will see you on the next RWBY Report. Bye. No, you shut up.
Can't wait for Weiss to get busted out of that place.
Just like, I'm trying to just fill in gaps, try and take stuff out and then put Joe Mahawk in.
He is a really nice seaman guy.
Oh, so what are you saying? That the videos are only good when I'm in them? My job is to be entertaining. Oh, my neck cracked again. That felt awesome. Is that going to be a thing for me? Every episode I crack my neck?
So basically like the Schnee version of Alfred.
Now it's in the video. Hey, let's fuck the voice back into Cinder. Hey, you know what? Let's fuck the rebellion back into Weiss. Hey, let's fuck the life back into Pyrrha. Why does it always have to be about that? Why can't I just like the look of these women?
He's either going to help her escape, or he's going to end up dying.
Django's here? 4.
Oh, and Weiss mentions her mother, who may or may not be an alcoholic.
This thing is giant, it's shiny, and it's white. What is this family's obsession with white? Racists. They are racists. Because if you were married into the Snee family, you'd drink too. And also, Whitley's name is reminiscent, I'm not sure if it's a reference, but it's reminiscent of the main character of Portal 2. Main enemy. The main antagonist.
Tyrael is the guy from Diablo. Tyrion is the guy from this, as well as Game of Thrones.
Don't ask me why the cameraman is over there, not in front of... and not behind the camera.